Hello, my name is Jovi Leroya, and for my leisure hobby project, I chose to learn a video game called Street Fighter, and I particularly did the Street Fighter 4 series or episode. So, Street Fighter was first released in 1987. It is a fighting game and it involves one on one combat. And so, you're going to have to learn moves and tactics and special powers, I think, or moves is how they, or at least the person who taught me is how he referred it to, and it's a combination of defense moves. A study was conducted in 2009 by the Entertainment Software Association, and they show that 67% of the US households actually play video games or computer games now. And out of that 67%, only 40% of the players are women. Although I say there is only 40% that actually is a significant shift. There has been rise in the number of women participating in this leisure activity, and the gender differences is related to the amount of time spent on the playing of this game. So men are actually found to spend more time. So until now, this activity is actually still considered still a man's game by another study by Crew and Park in 2010. Another current issue on this activity is that marketing strategies are actually targeting men. The study by Crew and Park suggests that it's very appealing to men, but on the other hand, stressful to women. These advertisements that we see that are posted out there are actually impacting women in a negative way. And another interesting study, or at least to me, is one of the literature that I have reviewed is that among 597 characters coded, only 82 are women. That's 13% are women. So that's kind of interesting that even in the shift of gender differences of gamers, what we are using as characters is actually still promoting gender biases. Some of the theories that I have come up with why we have seen historical changes in participation is because, one, we see changes because of the E-generation is what I want to call it, where we are gaining more and more knowledge on how we use technology regardless of our gender, and we tend to merge it with our leisure activities, and that's what video games are there for. And also that I think we are seeing or witnessing the results of civil rights movement or movements that are now providing women the opportunities to lead, govern, and we are allowed to acquire the power, the practice power, and which has long actually been available only to men or dominantly to men. And I also strongly believe that we have developed a culture in a society that is less gender biased, so we are more freely able to enjoy things that other gender or the opposite gender enjoys. Some of the relationships of class materials that I have seen as I did my literature review is that the aggressive behaviors actually linked to men. Similar to these games, the aggressive attitude and aggressive movements or behaviors of these characters depict and utilize some of the violent themes that are normally linked to men. Men have long been expected to demonstrate strength and masculinity, and across culture we actually do see that men are expected to show off courage and to just be more, in general, more aggressive than women. Feminism is another concept that I could relate to our class materials. For example, Marxist feminism, that women are often placed in a subordinate position, is, I think, evident in this game that knowing that there out of 35, there's only 5 or 7 characters in this game that are women, and just the limit of how many women we can choose from, it kind of indirectly suggests that there's men just have more power. Men can do more, more unbeatable than women are. And other studies that are included in our class materials suggest that it's more likely for women to participate in activities that are more socially, promote social interaction and gathering, and rather than fighting and violence themed activities. And also, it's socially acceptable is kind of the norm, and it is very important for women to look good, look well, and to express modesty rather than what men in this game portray, which is just language, yelling, screaming, and punching and kicking, which are more kind of like a masculine behavior. And throughout the game, this is actually depicted. Well, as a personal reflection, learning this game, I've seen some challenges, and it has definitely challenged my emotions and my own gender biases on gaming. And it's something that I've always considered. I grew up with two older brothers, and I've always considered, oh, only men can do that. Only men can participate in such aggressive games. I have also gained the understanding that although there's now a shift in a less gendered biased society, women are still uncomfortable playing video games in public. That's one of the literature that I've reviewed says, and it's because there's no really a longer mastery in playing these games in women, and it's always been a taboo for girls to play something like this or to involve themselves in something like this. And I think that we have to, as women, I think we have to expose ourselves, or even men, expose ourselves to our opposite gender activities that we may be able to learn or learn from. And I also think that we should proactively involve ourselves in this. We don't have to immerse ourselves in these kinds of activities, but kind of just gain an understanding of how and why people are involved in these things. And also, if you open your mind, you'll be amazed in how technology and entertainment can merge, and how we can also find leisure. Finally, as a personal reflection and how I can apply what I've learned, we should not limit ourselves to what our society expects us to do or to become. I strongly believe that women like myself will gain confidence, and just learning something new is just a wonderful thing. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoy.